Kobe Bryant's final text message was sent at 8:19 a.m. on January 26, 2020. "You good, fam?" he asked Sharif O'Neal. 1 hour later, he was dead. When Shaquille O'Neal heard the news, he broke down on live television and said something that shocked the world. "I haven't felt a pain that sharp in a while. I lost a little brother." A little brother? This was the same man Shaq had publicly threatened to kill just 16 years earlier. This is the story of the most dominant duo in NBA history and the most dysfunctional. Two legends who won 3 championships while genuinely hating each other, and how, in the end, love emerged from the deepest hatred. By 1996, the Lakers were stuck in basketball purgatory. 5 years since Magic's retirement, one playoff series win to show for it. They needed superstars, and Jerry West knew it. 3 days before their season ended in first-round embarrassment, a brash 17-year-old held a press conference that changed everything. "I have decided to skip college and take my talents to the NBA." At the time, Jerry West barely knew who Kobe Bryant was. High school players jumping to the pros wasn't normal in 1996, but when Kobe worked out for the Lakers and destroyed former Defensive Player of the Year Michael Cooper, West realized what other GMs had missed. This kid was different. To watch him work out, it was like ridiculous, West would later recall. Like a man playing against kindergarten people. That's how advanced he was. The Lakers only had the 24th pick, so West made a move that still echoes today. He traded beloved center Vlade Divac to Charlotte for the 13th pick and the rights to Kobe Bryant. But West wasn't done. That same summer, the most dominant center in basketball became available for the strangest reason. The Orlando Magic had one job: give Shaquille O'Neal a max extension. Instead, they offered him $54 million while explaining they needed to save money for Penny Hardaway. Then, the Orlando Sentinel organized a poll, where 91% of readers voted that Shaq didn't deserve the max. 2 insults too many. Even when Orlando eventually offered $115 million, it was too late. Jerry West swooped in with the biggest contract in basketball history, $120 million over 7 years. On paper, it looked perfect. In reality, it was the beginning of beautiful chaos. At the Lakers' first training camp, every player had to introduce themselves. When Kobe's turn came, he said this: "Yo, I'm Kobe Bryant. I'm from PA. I went to Lower Merion High School and dominated everything. I just want you all to know, nobody's going to punk me. I'm not going to let anyone in the NBA punk me. So, be warned." Clearly, this was no ordinary rookie. The problem started immediately. Kobe came off the bench but refused to give up the ball ever. Shaq nicknamed him Showboat. On November 17th, after Bryant scored a career-high 16 points, Shaq complained about not getting touches. Kobe's response was ice cold. "Get it off the rebound if I miss, bro." Bryant was arrogant, selfish, often dribbling into double teams and taking impossible shots. He was also standoffish, never socializing with teammates off the court. This distanced him from everyone and earned him just 15 minutes per game. But despite the tension, something magical happened in the 1997 playoffs. Against Utah in the second round, the Lakers trailed 3-1 with their season on the line. In Game 5, with the game tied and 2 minutes left, Shaq fouled out. The Lakers needed someone to step up. With the game tied, 18-year-old Kobe took the ball and fired an air ball. Then another air ball in overtime. Then 2 more. 4 air balls in the clutch moments of a playoff game. Probably an NBA record. The rest of the team was furious at him. But Shaq? Shaq gave Bryant a hug and said something that would prove prophetic. "I know everybody's laughing and giggling out there, but one day people will fear you at the end of the game." Even then, respect existed beneath the surface tension. By the 1998-99 lockout season, the underlying issues had festered. Shaq was tired of Kobe's selfish play and jealous of his growing superstardom. While Shaq lost his Reebok deal and dealt with legal issues, Kobe was a PR darling. Endorsements with Adidas, Spalding, Sprite, even his own Nintendo game. This was supposed to be Shaq's team, and he expected Kobe to treat him like a big brother. But Kobe had no interest in being anybody's little brother. During a lockout pickup game, Shaq and Kobe were on opposite teams. The trash talk started immediately. Shaq kept taunting. Yeah, take that little. Kobe's eyes flashed. Ain't gonna be too many more of those little, you know. What you gonna do about it? Shaq shot back. A 400-pound fist came flying at Kobe's head. He ducked just in time, threw wild haymakers back, and chaos erupted. Teammates separated them, but the damage was done. Their first real war had begun. The Lakers were drowning in their own dysfunction. Shaq and Kobe hated each other. Dale Harris was fired after 12 games. Kurt Rambis couldn't control the chaos. Jerry West needed a miracle worker. But there was one problem. The only coach who could save them was the same man who had broken West's nose in the 1972 finals, Phil Jackson. After the game was over, West hated Jackson's guts, trusted Jerry Krause's warnings about him, but both superstars demanded Phil. So West swallowed his pride and wrote the biggest check in coaching history, $6 million plus $2 million per championship. The transformation was instant. Shaq showed up in the best shape of his life. Jackson had demanded he lose 15 pounds. With Kobe, Phil laid down the law. This is Shaq's team. You're the second option, period. Bryant hated it, but had no choice. Jackson signed veterans Ron Harper, Brian Shaw, and John Salley as peacekeepers. Then came the triangle offense. Kobe, an isolation scorer his whole life, rebelled against the system. Then he got hurt. Watching from the sideline for a month, Kobe saw his team dominate without him. When he returned, he had no choice but to buy in. The Lakers won 20 of their next 21 games. They were 31-5 and miserable. The tension was so bad that Jackson called Michael Jordan to talk to Kobe. "I want you to talk to Kobe a little bit," Jackson told Jordan. "He tends to take over games at certain times, and I think if you convince him to just wait, just be patient." When they met, the first thing Kobe said was, "I could kick your ass one-on-one." At that moment, if the Lakers could have traded Bryant, he would have been gone. "My teammates hate me," Kobe complained to Jerry West. "If I was your teammate, I'd hate you too," West replied. But Bryant always had the ability to be objective about himself. After that conversation, he finally started playing team basketball. The Lakers finished the 2000 season with 67 wins and 15 losses. Shaq led the NBA in scoring with 29.7 points on 57% shooting, plus 13.6 rebounds and a career-high 3.8 assists. He was one vote shy of becoming the first unanimous MVP in league history. Kobe averaged 22.5 points and made first-team All-Defense. But the playoffs weren't easy. The Kings pushed him to Game 5 in the first round. The Suns fell in 5 games in the second round. Then came the Western Conference Finals against Portland. The Lakers took a 3-1 lead and their finals berth seemed certain. But Portland bounced back with 2 consecutive wins, forcing Game 7. In that deciding game, nothing was working for LA. Shaq struggled against 7'4" Arvydas Sabonis and Pippen held Kobe in check. With 10 minutes left, the Lakers were down 15 points. Then Sabonis picked up his 5th foul. The Blazers kept missing shots and the Lakers clawed back. LA took the lead with 2 minutes to go and held on for dear life. The 2000 Finals. Lakers versus Indiana. LA was simply better, but the Pacers wouldn't quit. Game 4, overtime, Shaq fouled out. Kobe, ankle swollen from Jalen Rose's dirty undercut, limped onto the court. This was his moment to prove he belonged. 4 of 5 shots, ice in his veins. Game-winning tip-in with 5 seconds left. Game 6. Shaq unleashed 41 points and 12 rebounds on the helpless Pacers. As the final buzzer sounded, something beautiful happened. Kobe, the aloof teenager who never showed emotion, leaped into Shaq's massive arms. For one perfect moment, all the hatred melted away. Shaq's finals numbers were otherworldly. 38 points, 16.7 rebounds, 2.7 blocks per game. He was officially the best player on the planet. And in Shaq's mind, that was enough. What happened next became a predictable cycle. Shaq spent the summer partying, drinking, and putting on weight. Kobe kept working on his technique and getting stronger. When the 2001 season started, the usual troubles resurfaced. Key veterans like Jerry West left, John Salley retired, and Glenn Rice was traded. The Lakers signed J.R. Rider, who was maybe more mentally unstable than Dennis Rodman, but half as good. Derek Fisher suffered a foot fracture and missed 4 months. With veteran leadership gone, the Shaq-Kobe beef intensified. Kobe believed Shaq was fat and lazy. Shaq thought Kobe was a selfish brat. To an extent, both players were correct. But something clicked when Fisher returned after missing 62 games. Fish wasn't much of a scorer, but he was steady, loved sharing the ball, and played great defense. Most importantly, his leadership skills served as a buffer between Shaq and Kobe. With Fisher in the lineup, the Lakers finished on an 8-game win streak. When the playoffs started, they were unstoppable. They swept the Blazers and Kings, then dominated the Spurs in the conference finals. After Kobe led LA to victories with 45 points in Game 1 and 28 in Game 2, Shaq said something remarkable. "It's easy when you have Kobe Bryant, the best player in the world."
The relationship between the two was at an all-time high. In the finals against Philadelphia, Allen Iverson played heroically in Game 1, scoring 48 points, but that was all he could do against Shaq and Kobe. The Lakers won the next 4 games and repeated as champions. Their 15-1 playoff record was the best postseason performance ever at the time. The 2002 season followed the same pattern. Shaq partied all summer while Kobe worked relentlessly. But this time, Kobe was physically close to his absolute prime. Even though Bryant was more aggressive than ever, having fistfights with teammates and getting ejected after scuffles, he surprisingly didn't have major quarrels with Shaq. Kobe was smart enough to realize that O'Neal was still the most dominant player in the world. Shaq averaged 28.7 points with 12.7 rebounds. Kobe wasn't far behind with 28.5 points. But the Western Conference Finals against Sacramento would test them like never before. The Kings were the best team in the NBA that season, led by Chris Webber and sharpshooter Peja Stojakovic. They played with the fastest pace in the league and had 7 players scoring in double figures. It wasn't shocking when Sacramento took a 2-1 series lead, destroying the Lakers by 26 points in Game 3. In Game 4, the Kings led by 24 points in the second quarter. But the Lakers clawed back, and with 11 seconds left, they were down only 2. Bryant missed a potential game-tying shot, and Shaq botched the putback. All Vlade Divac had to do was grab the ball, and it would be over. Instead, he punched the ball back to the three-point line, right into the hands of Robert Horry. Big Shot Bob lived up to his nickname. If Horry hadn't made that shot, the series would have been over, and the Lakers knew it. In Game 5, the Kings didn't collapse when Shaq fouled out late. Mike Bibby drained a jumper that gave Sacramento a 3-2 series lead. Game 6 should have ended the Lakers' dynasty, but the Lakers played with 3 extra guys in gray uniforms. In the fourth quarter, LA shot 27 free throws compared to just 9 for Sacramento. The worst call came in the final seconds when Kobe elbowed Bibby in the face, drawing blood. The refs called the foul on Bibby. Game 7 had 19 lead changes and 16 ties. With 13 seconds remaining, LA was up by 1. Peja Stojakovic, the best shooter in the series, had a wide-open three-pointer. He airballed it. Bibby sent the game to overtime with late free throws, but Sacramento had nothing left. The Lakers escaped with a victory that felt more like a heist. The finals against New Jersey were anticlimactic. Shaq averaged 36 and 12, Kobe added 27, 6 and 5, and it was over in 4 games. The Lakers became only the 3rd franchise in NBA history to win 3 straight championships. The 2003 season started with an ominous sign. Shaq, playing with a hurt toe throughout 2002, postponed surgery until late August. This left him unable to participate in training camp. His infamous explanation, "I got hurt on company time, so I'm going to rehab on company time." When he finally got ready to play, he wasn't really ready. He had ballooned to nearly 400 pounds. One part of Kobe hated Shaq's lack of discipline. The other part marveled at the opportunity to dominate without him. Without Shaq, Kobe averaged 29 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2.5 steals. Bryant was in his 7th season and, despite being only 24, was at his absolute basketball peak.
But without Shaq and with an aging roster, the Lakers started 3-9. It was their worst start in 36 years. In the middle of the season, Bryant went berserk. He scored 40 or more in 9 straight games, including 2 50-point performances. Jackson called him into his office and said he needed to slow down to include Shaq in the offense. Kobe was livid. "We're going to lose him, and we need him in June," Jackson explained. The 40-point streak ended that night when I dumped the ball to Shaq instead of shooting a wide-open shot, Kobe would later recall. With some lineup tweaking and Shaq getting into shape, the Lakers finished with 50 wins. In the first round against Minnesota, everything seemed lovely, with 60 combined points from their superstars. But then they met Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs. In Game 6, Duncan destroyed the Lakers with 37 points and 16 rebounds. The Lakers' reign over the NBA was finally over. June 30th, 2003. Eagle, Colorado. Kobe flew in for arthroscopic surgery, organized without the Lakers' knowledge. What happened next would destroy everything. A hotel receptionist. A terrible decision. An accusation of sexual assault. July 18th. Formal charges filed. The next day, Kobe sat next to Vanessa at the most painful press conference in sports history. I sit here furious at myself for making a mistake of adultery. But I'm innocent. The feeding frenzy was immediate and relentless. Then came the leaked bombshell. Kobe told investigators he should have done what Shaq does. Just pay women to stay quiet. Shaq denied everything. The Brotherhood was officially dead. When asked about Kobe missing training camp, Shaq's response was brutal. The full team is here.
When Bryant finally arrived, he was a shell of himself. For the first time in his life, basketball was secondary. Phil Jackson begged them to stop the media war. 24 hours later, Kobe sat down with Jim Gray and detonated a nuclear bomb. The guy selling donuts at 7-Eleven has more pride in his job than Shaq. Fat and lazy, surgery on company time while Peyton and Malone play for free. We're not friends, we're not brothers. A brother would have called after Colorado. Shaq's response was simple. He threatened to kill Kobe. Kobe was ready to fight back. The greatest duo in NBA history was eating itself alive. Despite the dysfunction, the Lakers were so talented that they started 20-5. Then injuries hit. Malone missed 40 games. Rick Fox missed 44. Shaq was out for 15. Kobe, in and out due to his trial, missed 17 games. Still, amid a life-altering situation that could have ended his career, Kobe's resilience was fascinating. When the Lakers played Denver at home, Kobe spent the entire day in the courtroom. He flew back to Los Angeles and arrived in the second quarter. He immediately scored a game-winning shot, then collapsed in the locker room and needed an IV. For the season, Bryant led the Lakers with 24 points per game and made first-team all-defense. Shaq showed visible signs of slowing down at 21.5 points and 11.5 rebounds. The excess weight had robbed him of his explosiveness. Gary Payton butchered the triangle offense, and the bench was extremely thin. But when the playoffs came, the Lakers advanced to their fourth finals in 5 years. Against Detroit, many believed the Pistons would get swept due to lack of talent. They were wrong. Detroit was one of the best defensive teams of all time. In Game 1, the Pistons chose not to double-team Shaq, guarding him exclusively with 6'9" Ben Wallace. Shaq dominated with 34 points on 13 of 16 shooting. But because the Lakers weren't used to playing without their biggest advantage, open shots from Shaq getting doubled, everyone else struggled. Kobe shot just 10 for 27, and the rest of the team scored only 16 points total. The Lakers bounced back in Game 2 with 62 combined points from their stars, but that would be their final win of the series. Detroit killed the Lakers with full-court defense and forced Bryant into tough shots. Kobe took 23 shots per game, but made just 38% and a horrible 17% from three. With Malone injured and Peyton playing terribly, the Lakers had no chance. Detroit won the championship 4-1. Shortly after the Game 5 loss, Bryant sat across from a teammate and declared, "I ain't playing with that motherfucker again." That motherfucker was Shaquille O'Neal. Kobe was willing to move from LA and had already planned to request a trade, but owner Jerry Buss made a different choice. He traded Shaq to Miami, ending an 8-year partnership. The immediate aftermath was predictable. Shaq won his 4th championship with Miami in 2006. Kobe struggled for 3 years before winning back-to-back titles in 2009 and 2010. After Shaq's championship, he infamously taunted Kobe with a rap, "Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes." When Kobe won his 5th ring in 2010, he fired back, "I got one more than Shaq. You can take that to the bank." Shaq's response shocked everyone. "Congratulations, Kobe. You deserve it. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it."
The bitterness was fading, replaced by grudging respect. January 26, 2020, started like any other day. Kobe reached out to Sharif O'Neal, still checking on the young man like family. "You good, fam?" An hour later, the helicopter carrying Kobe and Gianna crashed into a Calabasas hillside. When Shaq's ex-wife called him crying, he knew the impossible was true. On TNT that night, a devastated Shaq revealed his heart. "I haven't felt a pain that sharp in a while. I lost a little brother." We're not going to be able to joke at his Hall of Fame ceremony. We're not going to be able to say, if we would have stayed together, we could have gotten 10. I just wish I could say something to him again. Then Shaq said something that revealed everything. Kobe was so much more than an athlete. He was a family man. That's what we had most in common. I would hug his children like they were my own, and he would embrace my kids like they were his. His baby girl, Gigi, was born on the same day as my youngest daughter. In his darkest moment, Shaq revealed the truth about their relationship. All the hatred, all the public warfare, all the bitter insults, none of it was real. As Shaq had said years earlier, it was never a feud. It just looked like a feud. When I'm getting doubled, he's the first dude I'm looking for. When he's getting doubled, I'm the first dude he's looking for. The respect was always there. What looked like hatred was actually love. Complicated, fierce, and unbreakable. Two alpha males who cared so much about winning that they were willing to destroy each other to achieve greatness. And when one of them was gone forever, the other's grief revealed what had always been true.
They were never enemies. They were brothers, the greatest duo in NBA history, who loved each other enough to hate each other.